Hi everyone, this is Sherry. Welcome back. Today I'm working on a layout for the Cut Shop, and I am creating a layout using that heart cut file you see there that is called All Heart Remix, and I'll also be using a word from the This and That collection, and I will show you those snapshots at the end of using the cut files. What I'm doing here is I took the cut file that is actually a full circle with the hearts, and I cut it in half because I'm going to be just putting it off to one side of the page, and I decided I wanted to go ahead and back each of the hearts with pattern paper. I'm using the 6x6 paper pad from the Amy Tan Rise and Shine collection, and that's a 6x6 pads, and I'm just going around tracing and cutting out all the hearts. Now I will tell you this was a very time consuming process, and so I didn't obviously put the whole thing on video. I just recorded a little bit just so you could kind of see how I was doing that, and so I'm going to go ahead and cut to the part where I have that completed, and you can see here I'm still filling in, and I filled in each and every one of those little hearts right down to the little teeny tiny ones. So that process probably took me, I would say, a good hour and a half. It was pretty time consuming, but you know, I just put on some reruns, Netflix or something on TV, and was just listening while I was doing that. So there I have the hearts all backed, and I was trying to decide, I was going to use that word paper, but it just wasn't, the heart cut file was just getting lost on it. And when I put it on that green paper, it just popped. To me, it just popped off that green paper. And I am not a green fan. I hardly ever use green. I just do not like green, but I like this paper. I thought the paper is beautiful, and when I put the cut file on there with that pattern paper, it just seemed to pop off the page. So I decided to go ahead and just use that for my background. And there you see I was testing some ink to see if I was going to like it on the green. I almost didn't do any inking or anything on there, but I just couldn't get away from it. I had to do something. I just felt like it was just blah, you know, without it for me. And so I sat there trying to decide what I was going to do. You see me, I'm tapping. I was just trying to really decide, okay, because once I go for it, that's it. I'm committed. I've got to do it. So I decided, you know what? I'm a misting girl. Loved mixed media. So I decided to just go for it. So I'm using the Delusions bubblegum pink spray, and I'm just doing the packaging technique, and then I decided to do some splatters with adding some water to kind of just get some more like a splatter effect. So I'm just going to work on that a little bit, and I don't do a lot. I do it mainly just in that one area, and I just wanted to have a little bit of interest behind that heart pattern. And so there, a lot of the heart pattern covered it up, so I pulled a little bit more out to the center of the layout, and I just couldn't not do any type of ink or anything on the layout. I just can't let it go. So I did it, and I was happy with it. I was glad I went ahead and did it. It gave it just a little bit more pop, a little bit more interest for me anyway, I think. So I went ahead and went with the inking, and then I'm going to go ahead and pop up that heart cut file. I wanted to pop it up. Again, that kind of took a little while, so I cut that part up, but I did put little adhesive pops on the back of that. And then there's the cut file that I'm using, that You and Me, that is from the This and That collection from the Cut Shop, and it has some words in it, really cute words. So I cut that from that file, and I'm using the Elle Studio Sienna collection, and that is the confetti paper, and I use that for the paper behind the photo that you see there, and then also the B side is the graph that I cut the You and Me out of. And then I was wanting to add a little bit of another layer of something behind the photo, and I had this tissue paper in my room. It was actually came packaged with my hip kit, because I'm using the April kit on this layout, and I had that paper, I think, from my June kit that I just got, and it was like in my scrap room. I was like, you know what, I'm going to grab that because it kind of goes with some of the blues over in the cut for the paper behind the cut file. So I added that as another layer to my layout, and I really liked the way that the tissue paper looked. I liked that effect, kind of give it something a little bit different. So there I am. I'm just kind of playing with a layer and getting it how I wanted it. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm adding just a few little layering pieces behind it. I'm using some cards from the Elle Studio Sienna line as well, and some Project Life cards in that collection. And I'm just going to be doing some layering there behind my photo to get it just right. And I'm using this photo of me and my husband. I know, it's kind of funny. I'm not scrapbooking my grandson today, huh? So, yeah, I had this photo of my husband that actually we just took. And so I thought, I'm going to go ahead and scrapbook that because I thought it went great with the hearts and the you and me. So I'm just kind of fiddling with it, trying to figure out what I want to use for layering. And I decided I really like that Cherish. It was actually on a Project Life card, but I liked it. Cherish this moment, and so I cut it out of the card of the actual Project Life card, and I'm just using it kind of like a tag. And I'm going to start putting down my title there, and I'm just going ahead and committing and gluing that down so I can start adding all of the rest of my embellishments. And then I'm using the Happy, that is from the Amy Tangerine Rise and Shine ephemera pack, which a lot of the pieces that I'm going to be using here are from that. I've got that little wood veneer that says Keeper. I love that. That's also from Amy Tangerine, the Rise and Shine wood veneers. And I'm just tucking those little pieces in there. I cut that card in half so I could use half at the top and half at the bottom. I do that a lot. No sense in wasting the whole card. So got some Freckled Fawn wood arrow, the wood veneer. It says Love, that's from Freckled Fawn. And then there I'm just applying some of those ephemera pieces from the ephemera pack. And I'm going to use several of those throughout the layout. Just going through there and finding what I can throw on there and add. So this layout came together pretty quick once I got the cut file done. I started that and I was like, oh my goodness, what did I get into? Because it was really time consuming, but I was really glad that I took the time to do it. I haven't done, I've done a little bit of paper piecing, but not a whole lot. And it was just a lot of fun, kind of therapeutic. I just watched a little TV while I was doing it. It did take a while, but I really liked the outcome of it. I really liked the way that it turned out. And so I'm just adding a few more pieces there. And once I got that done, everything came together pretty quick. And I was using that little tab there. I didn't like that gray on the photo, so I pulled it off and put something with a little bit more color. I'm so sorry, my head's getting in the way. I was actually standing up at this point, and every time I would bend over, I'd get in the way of the camera, so apologize about that. And so, yeah, I'm going ahead and just adding a few more pieces here and filling up the page with embellishments like I do. And I'm adding a few more of those little gold pieces around the layout just to kind of spread that around and get around the page. I love these little stickers from Amy Tangerine, the little phrase stickers, and they come in different colors, and I'm just going to add those in a few places. And you guys, let me just encourage you to check out the Cut Shop. We've got some new cut files that have come out. If you do not subscribe to the newsletter, make sure you go to the blog and do that, because every once in a while you'll get an email of like a free cut file. The one that came out in the last newsletter was so cute, you guys. I'm going to be using it on a layout. And it's free, but the only way you can get it is to sign up for the newsletter. So make sure that you go to the blog and check that out, because, who doesn't want a free cut file, And it's really cute, too. You'd really like it. So I hope to be using that on a layout real soon. And I'll show you guys. So make sure you do sign up for the newsletter so that you can get your free file. And I'm just scattering a few of those Maggie Holmes sequins around the layout. And I'm going to go ahead and glue those down. And those are from it's Maggie Holmes Confetti. And it's just all of those different sequins, the little gold ones, the pink flowers, and the little turquoise sequins are all from that collection. And so I'm just tacking those down around the page. And then I'm going to add a little bit of date stamps on the layout. I've got a date stamp, and then I'm also going to be using an American Crafts roller stamp that is, I can't remember what it's called, but it's a roller stamp that just has love sentiments all the way around it. Love, XOXO. It's a pink candle, I know that. So I don't know. I know that doesn't help. But it's got love sentiments all the way around it. So I'm just stamping that in different places throughout the layout. I think 3 different spots I'm going to stamp that. And that's pretty much going to wrap it up. I've got some close-ups coming, guys. And so also some close-ups of the cut files that I used on the layout. So make sure that you go to the Cut Shop and check it out and get you some files. They're just a lot of fun. I love, I'm so thrilled to be a part of the team, and I so enjoy working with the cut files. And I know that you'll love it once you get the hang of it. If you don't know how, get in and learn. It's a fun thing. So make sure you check it out. And again, thank you so much for watching. And I've got some close-ups again. And give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you guys. And thanks so much. You have a great day.